Well, hello there guys, DBSlayer7 here. I just watched the Sony conference, E3 conference. Yeah, we got a bit to get through. Oh boy. Now, I may not consider myself a Sony fanboy because I will call them out when they do bad things. I'll call any company out when they do bad things and when they wrong me. Alright? You know, for instance, when Insomniac made Ratchet Clank All for One and Full Frontal Assault, I didn't buy those games. Could other people enjoy them? Sure. But I didn't buy them because I didn't like them, you know? And because All for One is a steaming pile of crap. But let's get on with it, man. Like I said, there's a lot to go through. Sony never leaves you wanting more. They always leave you wanting less sometimes because they go on for 2 hours and you just want it to end so you can make your little video to get the YouTube money. Blue. Plenty of blue. My favorite color. Alright. So they start off with Destiny, sort of a very teasy slash, you know, expositional thing. You know, they tell more of the story. It seems like after the Call of Duty Future Warfare, Sony's like, how do we top Kevin Spacey? I know, Dinklage. So you're gonna have a cute little Wheatley robot voiced by Peter Dinklage. I'm down with that. Now, I've not watched Game of Thrones yet. I'm currently in the process of reading the books, and I will start watching the show after I read the books because I'm liking what I'm reading so far, and I'm sure I'll love Dinklage in that. I love Dinklage and everything else, in the X-Men movie, and in Elf, and he's a pretty cool guy. So, what I got from Destiny, you know, they have a timed release on the PlayStation. They secured that. That was great. Also, beta and alpha. I don't know if the alphas, I don't know the specific dates, but they're coming. You know, people can get to the alpha and beta. And as I've said before, I don't really like this practice because it smells of companies not wanting to pay proper beta testers. They just want to give people the game in an unfinished state and have them work out the bugs, which may be frugal in terms of, you know, establishing an audience while also saving money on beta testers, or at least a lot of beta testing. I'm sure they still have a testing team and developers working on things, but still it feels like, you know, there's... I can't fault the company for saving money and, you know, knocking out 2 birds with 1 stone, and if it makes people happy, whatever. It comes with a white PS4 bundle. There's going to be a Destiny bundle. It'll be a white PS4, 500 gigabytes, I think he said. Adam House, I believe. Tiny Hands. Mr. Tiny Hands. That's what we've called him. No offense, guy. You're great. We love you. You know, bundle. Sony's the best at bundles, in my opinion. You know, they have a God of War bundle. You know, it's about time they start making some bundles because there's finally a brand new IP game for it, which it looks like Halo, which is not surprising because it's made by the people who made Halo. New IP. It's The Order. Technically a new IP, but we knew about it. They showed some gameplay. And of course, once again, all people can harp on is that there was a QuickTime event. Guys, you know, I don't like QuickTime events as much as the next person. The guy's lying on the ground. He could, you know, pick the vial up himself if they're going to transition through cutscenes, but they might as well let you press a button, you know. Whatever. The game looks beautiful. We thought it looked like a zombie, but it's actually a lichen zombie, so that's interesting. The guy from Harry Potter turns into a wolf and starts attacking you. It doesn't look like it looked very either alpha or beta-ish, because I don't know if it's intentional, but when he started shooting the creature, it didn't look like it did anything to the creature. Like, the creature didn't recoil, you didn't see any damage. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if that's intentional, if that's supposed to be what the monster is about, or if they're not finished making the animations for it. I don't know, you know, when you shoot something, you expect it to recoil or bounce back or something, you know. We'll see. You know, it's a nice, lovely gameplay. That's... It's over the shoulder, you know, Gears of War style gameplay. It looks fun, you know, it looks like, you know, they're going to have a lot of gadgets. It's a new IP, it's something new story, new world to explore. All I got to say is it's very dark. I don't know if that's, again, if that's intentional or if the game's going to be very, very dark. But I hope that when it finally gets on the systems, it'll look like, you know, it's not going to look like Outlast, where, you know, the only light you have is your flashlight, you know. And that works for some games, but, you know, I want to see the art design. I want to see this world. I know it's dark, gritty stuff, but, you know, whatever. Then, directly after that, they showed Entwined, which is a brand new indie sort of game. It's twin-stick sort of... I don't want to say music game. It's some kind of... it looks like a rhythm-based game, like... You have to match the colors to stuff on screen, and it's twin stick. It's not a twin stick shooter. It's like you're controlling one character and then another character with each stick, sort of like Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons or whatever it's called. And which, you know, I mean, that looks cool, you know. And then the most surprising thing was that this cool new game that looks interesting. You know, it's a little indie game. $10 tonight, so it's available now. I don't have a PS4, so I can't tell you anything, and I'm saving money so I can go to SGC anyway, so I wouldn't have bought it. But if it seems interesting to you, you know, it looks colorful. It's blue and orange. It looks like a game from that game company, just with a bit more action. Fine. Indie games, you know, indie support. You know, Sony's going strong with that. Infamous DLC. I haven't played the new Infamous game because, again, I don't have a PS4. And I love the original Infamous games, and I think they're very contained games. And from what I've seen and heard of the new Infamous games, the story is not that great. The characters, you know, Troy Baker, as charming as the man may be, he plays the douchebag a little too well, and everybody else is bland. But there's a DLC, Infamous DLC. It's First Light is what it's called, and it stars the female character. I don't know. I think she's the one with the neon powers. Another surprising thing is that you don't need the game to get the DLC. So it's like, oh, I watched a Let's Play and I didn't like this character, or oh, I sold my copy. What do I do? Oh, I don't need the game. I can buy it anyway. So that's really nice. I like seeing that, Sony. I like seeing you not manhandle and hold your content hostage because of petty BS. You know, you understand that we live in a capitalistic society and that we can sell and trade and borrow objects, you know, digital or otherwise. Meh. And immediately after that, boom, Little Big Planet 3. Little Big Planet 3. Just, I did not see that coming at all. I never got into the Little Big Planet craze. I know, I'm a Sony guy, and I never got into one of their most popular games. Well, here's the thing. The Little Big Planet is a make-your-own-game game. And I don't want to make my own game. I want to play a game, you know. And the single-player campaign is not worth $60. I bought Little Big Planet 2 for some reason, and I had to sell that immediately because after the campaign, I said, tons of stuff to create, but I don't want to do it. Here you go. So, if you're excited, if you love Little Big Planet, yippee. I'm hearing stuff like it's not made by Media Molecule, which is a little concerning. I mean, that's their game, that's their thing. And, you know, I don't like that. You know, you know me about Banjo-Kazooie. I don't like it when someone else's idea is put in another person's hands and that person fumbles it up. You know, they just mess it up. They're just like, oh, what do I do? How do I do this? You know, they can't make their own IP, so they're just going to milk off somebody else's, you know. The newer Spyro games, the newer Crash games, prime example. And once again, nuts and bolts, which, you know, may be a decent game, but because of it, we didn't get another Banjo-Kazooie game. Man can dream. So, from Little Big Planet, they showed 3 new characters, a dog, so a sack dog, been a long time coming, in my opinion, a bird, Swoop, and a fat guy. You know, the obligatory big guy who's automatically stronger than everybody else because he's bigger and he's a fat guy. Lighthearted, cool. I love the presentation. I love how it wasn't scripted. It was 4 people trying to get through a level of Little Big Planet, and I love that. And other people on Twitter were like, yeah, they're being annoying. Yeah, they're having fun, idiot. Leave them alone. Okay, this is what E3 should be about. It should be about fun and people playing games and having experience. Okay? Ugh. These people, they're never satisfied, I swear. Now, from the happy-go-lucky, sunshine-filled, beautiful music world of Little Big Planet, we go straight downhill into a new game from... This is gonna get annoying. From Software. Game company titles. Yeah, From Software. It's directed by the guy who originally made Demon Souls, the PS3 exclusive. What started Dark Souls. Yeah, you don't remember that. You don't remember Demon Souls, the thing that started it all. No, you just remember Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2. So he, Hideki Miyazaki, no relation, is making his own new IP. I don't know, and it was a very crisp but very detailed trailer. I don't want to say it's pretty because it's got like these very staunt looking horrifying dogs with like skin removed, and then it's got just slicing through flesh and it looks gross, and then the end shot is a very ugly like hobo looking guy with bandages and broken teeth with a gun to his head, and he's like reacting, and it's very dark and gritty and very bloody and very nasty looking. It was a pre-rendered trailer, obviously. I don't know what it's going to be about. I guess, I don't know if you're the guy trying to survive. I don't know if it's going to be like a Souls game. I don't know. Nah, we'll find out. It's called Bloodborne, by the way. Then we go to Far Cry 4. Now in Ubisoft it showed like the opening cutscene, but here we saw some actual gameplay. We saw, driving. It looks just like Far Cry 3, which is great. It just looks like they upped the graphics. They got you new weapons, a new setting. It looks a different setting. The tropical island is gone. It's now time for mountains, and you got grappling hooks and rock climbing, and it looks cool, and, it looks like we're going to get the wingsuit. They heard a lot of people saying, hey, why didn't we get the wingsuit at the beginning? And they're like, okay, you'll get the wingsuit at the beginning. Now, a lot of people, in the opening cutscene, you take a selfie with the bad guy, and so it shows the face, and it looks like Jason Brody from the last game. I don't think that's going to be the case. It would be interesting to see that story continued, like he saved, the last island, he's liberated it, they're safe, now he's going to go to the Himalayas and stop another bad guy. Sounds interesting. I'd like to see that story continued. I love a story that I like being continued, But I always knew that the thing about Far Cry was that it's just like Final Fantasy. The numbers don't mean anything, it's just like... This is a completely different game. Even Far Cry 3's DLC was a completely different game. Blood Dragon was, We'll see. Maybe that spiky douche hairstyle is just popular, And really, if it is Jason Brody, he shouldn't have the douchey hairstyle again. I would like to see him maybe build up more, have sort of the same voice, but his hair is a little messy, something like that. We'll see. I don't think it's Jason Brody. To top it all off, there's this liberation scene, an explosion, and it's scripted. It's not going to be this pretty and cinematic in the final game. It might be final graphics. I doubt it. I don't know. Maybe. I'm hopeful. But it's scripted. There's like timed explosions, people shoot, you know, you're not, you know, it doesn't look like actual gameplay because there's no mistakes being made. There's no organic feel to it. It still looks like a pre-rendered trailer. And the freaking elephant just, you know, a car comes up and you're getting shot at, and an elephant, like Abu from Aladdin, just comes, charges the thing with his head and blows it up. And I think, now usually that might kill the elephant or seriously injure it, but I think they're just like, oh, the elephant's got tough skin, it can handle an explosion. You know, they don't want the elephants' rights activists on their ass. So after that we got Deep Silver. The guys, I'm guessing they made Dead Island because it's a Dead Island 2 trailer, and it's a cinematic pre-rendered trailer. It's very goofy, lighthearted, colorful, fun trailer. Far Cry. Look at that transition. It's a far cry from their first couple of trailers, which were very emotional and dark and trying to recapture lightning in a bottle. This time they're like, F it, you know, this is just like Left 4 Dead, you know, we're goofy, the guy got bit, he's running with his Walkman, you know, and he's slowly turning into a zombie. He yells, he waves at a bikini girl, and then she gets attacked by a zombie helicopter, and it's goofy, and there's a soundtrack, and looks fun. It's a pre-rendered trailer, I can't say anything on that. So next, Magica. There's a nice sort of skit-like trailer where one of the wizards from Magica is sitting in an apartment and he's like reminiscing about the old days. He's like, "Where's Magica 2? I didn't play Magica." It looked like, you know, your standard Diablo fare with magic. The skit alone is hilarious. I love it. It showed off some gameplay. It's like, here's the game, but here's a funny little skit, you know. He's like petting his cat, you know, he's looking for a job. And then he's polishing his staff, which discharges some lightning to the lamp, and then it freaking blows up the cat. The cat's like eating, looks up, and zap, just bam! The cat just blows up. And the funniest part of that is that, you know, they're showing it in a theater with people. And as soon as the cat gets zapped, there's a loud, everybody in the audience is like, "Oh!" And I'm just like, that was hilarious. I don't condone animal violence, okay? But slapstick is hilarious, okay? The cat was just sitting there eating, and then it just bam, just boom, just looks up, it's like, "Daddy," bam. I just think that's funny. It's well timed, you know. You think it's weird timing because it's lightning. It should be instant, but it looks like it goes off the staff. That takes time for the cat to look up, and then you know, Dodger from Dexterity Bonus, Dodger Lay. I'm sure I wanted to find a video with her reaction, and there is one, but it's tiny little square, and they kind of show her like, "Oh, they killed the cat." So back to games. If you like Magica, Magica 2, yippee. It looks okay, I guess. Like I said, it looks like a Diablo game. I mean, you know, I'm just play a big Diablo. And then Sony gets into its, we think we're very funny, and, you know, we can be, but we drag stuff on for a little too long, so they showed off a bunch of letters that were written by 5-year-olds, but actually weren't written by 5-year-olds, and one of them was, Grim Fandango, Remastered, coming out. I'm not going to go through the whole joke, you know, if you've watched it, if you want to see it, it's there. Go watch the Sony conference, I implore you. It's actually a really well-made conference. It goes on for a while, but, you know, more indie stuff, more indie montages, more stuff, you know. And Suda51, his new game, which looks like a cross between Bloodborne, which we just saw. It's very gross and grotesque and bloody, dark, which is weird. You know, his games are usually bright and uplifting and, you know, stylized and very campy, but this one looks very serious and dark, and it looks like Bloodborne mixed with Fallout, because it's got the Fallout font, and it's like, chop off his leg or his arm, or get this thing and get this, and it looks like that. So I don't know. And I'll tell you right now, it's called Let It Die, and I'm the first person on Twitter to make the let it die joke, okay? Death doesn't bother me anyway. Andre Blacknerd will say he did it first because he's got a faster internet connection and more gumption and drive and speed. But I made it first. Dang it. So, yeah. It looks super serial, but the logo has the Grim Reaper on a skateboard, so I'm like, there's the Suda I know, there's the goofy campiness, this trailer's just joshing me. Then we go to Echo the Dolphin Simulator. It's called Abzu. Abzu? Don't put a Z in your word. Just don't do it. It's underwater stuff. It looks like a aquarium game. I don't know if there's actually a goal. And there's not much to say about it. They should have. The one thing I got from it is that it looks pretty, but it also looks very basic. Like, none of the fish were moving organically. They were like, it's like Mario Paint and clicked a bunch of fish and then moved them slowly that way. And that's what it looked like, and I'm like, that doesn't look good at all, I mean, I want the fish to move like fish, and, you want them to wave and perforate, but they just look like, whatever, if you like that sort of thing. No Man's Sky. Lots riding on this thing. We don't know what it's gonna be, how you're gonna play it. They're saying procedurally generated, which isn't always a good thing. It's made by a very small development team who made Joe Danger, which was a very small game. And it's like, okay, Joe Danger, whatever, but you're going from Joe Danger to Destiny Infinity. It looks a little ambitious, I don't know. The guy looks very nervous, he doesn't know. He's like, I don't know, it's like, we'll see. It looks very pretty. If the ideas that are being presented come to fruition, it could be a really good game to have. It might be timeless. You play it now, then 2 years later you play it again, and it's a whole new experience. That's what they're professing, but I don't know. I said it looked like the you got a Jurassic Park planet, and it looked like the sequence from The Lion King. Oh, I just want to be king. I can't wait to be king. The trees were red, and the sky was like orange and neon blue and stuff, and it looked like, this is, color. We need more of that. It's Hello Games, again with the game company names, man. Ugh. Nintendo. Project Morpheus. Take the red pill or the blue pill. No. Matrix joke, whatever. They showed a picture of it, said it's coming, and that's about it. PlayStation N. Free games. All the free games. Coming for both the PS4 and the Vita. Looks like there's a lot of games coming on the Vita. I'm glad there's more games coming for the Vita. I love my Vita. I think it's a great piece of technology. I want more games for it. I think it could be a real competitor for the DS. I mean, sure, the DS has a longer time, and the Vita isn't really the PSP2. It's a brand new piece of technology. It doesn't have the UMD disc. It's all digital, and have cartridges because cartridges are useful and they don't break. I love cartridges because they can break and they can be damaged, but a disc is a flimsy, it's like when you put the UMD in, you can hear it spinning, and it's like very, you never apart from the, you're never fooled by, oh, this is a DVD case in my hands, basically. It's not But a chip, a cartridge, it becomes part of the machine. It stays in place, and it just plays, you know. That's what I like about cartridges, you know. PlayStation Now, the service. Old news, but hey, they got... Sorry about that, guys. I think my camera messed up or something. So, as I was saying, PlayStation Now, TVs... $100 little box you can touch to TV. If you have the controller, you can play it. The entire backlog, what I think is like the PlayStation and PlayStation 2 games, and maybe PS3, I don't know. I'm sure, obviously, if you want to play PS4 games, you gotta get a PS4. And I think it might be reaching a little to get a PS3, because they still want to sell PS3s, and I don't think they're gonna, you know, give the option to skip out on a PS3. It's cool, you know, $100 to play thousands of great games, you know. My hope is that, you know, they'll bring out some real classics like Dragon Quest VIII, you know, and a lot of the RPGs and all the older, you know, games like Spyro and Crash on, you know, the Vita as well as on the TV or whatever. So, at this point I was like, okay, it's about time to buy a PS4 because they are knocking it out of the park. Mortal Kombat 10, aka the game. There's a lot of skull, spine, bone, rib cracking goodness in this one, and X-rays are back, so if you like that, you'll like this. Some new characters, looks cool, you know, some more varied stuff. You know, you got your old classics, don't worry, you know, you got your Sub-Zero, you got your Scorpion. You know, you got your main guy. You know, we live in the 21st century. You don't have to choose. You can have all these characters and more if you want to. For $10.99, second season DLC. I'm just joking. I don't know. Maybe. Then they went... Now, this is the part where they went on to say... They were talking about Powers, the new TV series. And what people were thinking, it was like, oh, why are you talking about TV? Don't do this, Sony. Come on. And while it still dragged, it was still something new. It was their own content. It wasn't like, hey, Breaking Bad's a thing, right? It's like, hey, here's this thing you can only get, on Sony, you know. And they said, hey, if you're a PS Plus subscriber, free games, plus you can watch this TV show that we're making for free if you want. They brought out the creator of the show. They didn't have Steven Spielberg in a magical black box somewhere, you know, and then have a pre-recording. They got the guy who created the show on stage, and I thought that was pretty cool. You know, he was doing his best Kingpin cosplay. Brian Michael Bendis writes Spider-Man, so that's a funny joke, by the way. Ratchet Clank. Any mention of good Ratchet Clank, take it. They said, hey, you'll get to play this game, Ratchet Clank Into the Nexus, and Street Fighter, a new Street Fighter game. But they showed a trailer, sort of a more in-depth trailer of a Ratchet Clank movie. It wasn't a teaser trailer like the last one, you know, which was just, hey, we're doing it, you know. And from what I can get from the story, it's like, it's very basic, like, it seems to be an Elseworld story. Like, everyone seems to have forgotten that, you know, Ratchet has saved the universe 9 times over. And he's like, he's just a spunky, you know, kid who wants to prove himself in a world of heroes. And I'm like, I got about 6-7 games that'll tell you right now he's a hero, okay? You know, it looks very basic, like I said. It's going to be fun, you know, it looks well animated, you know. I'm sure we're going to get Nefarious, and they said they're going to have Drek in there. I've been following the writer of the movie for a while, and he's, you know, he said the script. It looks very basic, you know. It's got that Meg driver's license scene in it, like he's doing the driver's license thing, and I'm like, why does he need to prove himself? He's the hero of the galaxy. So it looks like an Elseworld story, like some kind of different origin story, I guess. I don't know. Whatever, you know. It's going to be on the big screen. That's going to be fun, you know. Big movie people are going to have to talk about it. So, if anything, Ratchet & Clank's going to get some attention one way or the other. Speaking of Ratchet & Clank, they said, they didn't show anything, but they said the first game The first Ratchet Clank game, the beginning, is going to be remade with next-gen technology. Yes. I'm all for digital remasters. I'm all for remakes. You know, it sounded like Conquer Reloaded, but with Ratchet Clank. That's fine. But I want a new Ratchet Clank game with next-gen technology. Okay? And guys, by the way, I recently replayed Crack in Time, and it ran like magic. Why? Because it was 60 FPS. The screen got insanely busy, but it didn't slow down. Don't do this to your games. Keep them at 60. I'm not a graphical engineer. I'm not a game developer. I don't know how much more time or money or effort it takes, but it's worth it. Please. You're not David Cage. Don't sit there and say, it doesn't affect review scores. It will when you cut corners like that. Stop it! I'm writing little notes. Like, I can't breathe. Ratchet and Clank! I love Ratchet and Clank! More Ratchet and Clank! Metal Gear Solid, the Phantom Pain. Got a little more of that. Whatever. I can't tell what's pre-rendered and what's actual gameplay anymore, which is good. I never got into the Metal Gear Solid game franchise. I know it's a big, giant thing, but my last time I tried to get into it, it was a failure. I liked it for what it was, but I just kind of dragged for me. GTA 5. You PC guys, it's coming. Finally, fall 2015, so shut up about it. It's the same sort of, Last of Us, that's coming. Definitive Edition, the Lara Croft Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. So you're going to get GTA 5 for the Xbone, PS4, and now PC. There's a trailer on YouTube, it's PC. It's coming. Calm down. Jeez, guys. Another cool thing with GTA, they said that your online data from both Xbox 360 and PS3, your online data for those two systems can be transferred to the PS4, and that's the only thing that you can on PS4. And I'm like, ooh. I believe there aren't no more mics to drop at this point. Sony came strong. I mean, last time it was easy. They had a lot to work with against Microsoft, but this time they had to step up their game, and they did. They blew it out of the water like they always do. They showed Arkham Knight gameplay. They actually showed you driving around with the Batmobile. Now, the previous Batman games were able to get around the whole not killing thing because, one, the fluid combat can be chalked up to Batman just knocking people out, and the people you're fighting are hardened, bloodthirsty criminals, so you don't really feel too bad about plowing through them with your fists. And they look like tanks anyway, all of them, so it doesn't look good. But this game is set in Arkham City, the Gotham City, I mean. Scarecrow, they did a cute little glitchy thing, but it's Scarecrow looks like he's gonna be the big bad, which I'm down with that, I love Scarecrow, I love this version of Scarecrow, more Scarecrow missions. They've been building Scarecrow up for a while, the first game had an alternate ending with him reaching up and getting the Titan, and then the second game had his mask there and that iconic little girder, and you're like, oh, Scarecrow, oh, he's back, what's going on? And then it's like, oh, he's here. Batmobile gameplay, it's going to be interesting. Like I said, it's going to be interesting to see how they get around you moving around the city with civilians. And the fact that you have guns, but you're still not killing people. Oh, robots! You're shooting robots. That's okay. Okay. looks fantastic. You know, it's Rocksteady doing their thing with Batman again. You know, I hope Paul Dini is back writing something good. You know, and I hope. Everybody's been saying this. The Arkham Knight, the new villain character. They're saying it sounds kind of Joker-y, doesn't it? And I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't. I love the Joker, and I know it's a waste to, you know, but it ended so perfectly. Arkham City. You know, it was a nice ending in that particular storyline. It fit. You know, it was great. Let's move on. We have a million other villains we can cater to. You know, the Joker had his time twice. Okay, let's, you know, 3 times if you count Origins, which wasn't that great to be honest. So that's my hope. Interesting. You know, gameplay looks great. Hopefully, the Arkham Knight is something more interesting. Maybe the Red Hood, which is still technically tied to the Joker. Or Robin, or something, you know, something else, something mysterious, something twist-worthy. I don't care. Make the Arkham Knight be Talia al Ghul for all I care. Just not the Joker. You know, we ended that story. Let's, you know, we clinched that story further by having the Harley Quinn DLC and having all those pregnancy tests say, sorry, that little Easter egg is not real. Oh my god. Excuse me, allergies. And they end it on one of their big daddies called Uncharted 4. It's a pre-rendered trailer. I don't know, I think I heard people say it's in engine, and I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, yeah, yeah, we'll see. If it is, that's mind-blowing. Naughty Dog have always been the best at, you know, taking technology and utilizing it to the fullest ability. So if that is how the game looks, that's fine. You know, I hope. You know, I didn't like Uncharted 3 as much as everybody else, I think. You know, because it didn't have a coherent story, and the characters didn't make much more sense. You know, and it just felt like we're just stringing along. You know, it's like what they said is that they make the set pieces before they make a story. And I'm like, you can't do that, you know. Uncharted 1 was great because it had a nice, coherent story, you know. And it's like Indiana Jones. You are invading somebody else's story, but once you start making it about Nathan Drake, you have no idea what the heck you're doing, you know. And that's what 3 was. And then 3 killed it for me because it's like I'm killing not only Men in Black bad guys, but also a lot of most likely innocent people just snapping their necks and stuff. And then the biggest villain, the woman I'm trying to kill or trying to run away from, she finally gets her comeuppance and he tries to save her. And I'm like, you lost me. You done lost me. But, whatever. Uncharted 4 looks good. You got Nolan North and Sully. You got the voice actors back. I hope Elena Fisher will be more useful. You know, it looks like it's like he was out of the game, you know. I don't know. What I was hoping, I was saying there should be like a rival character with Troy Baker as the rival character, because that'd be funny. It's like, stepping in on my turf, boy. So that's Sony conference. 2 pages of stuff, nearly, you know. 98.5% of it I love. I like. I'm excited for it. I'm good. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, subscribe. Tell me what you think in the comment sections below. And I will see you later.